connected to money.
Okay, thanks guys for coming. So basically, it's mainly the closing debrief meeting for the Laurent project, and as you know, I needed to do the meeting before the presentation. The whole project was a real steep learning curve and a lot of things, so it's a good chance to share it and kind of learn from things went good and things went bad. So, okay, so yeah, it's the closing project. I'm sure you know, for the Flex project. Supply installation commissioning of the Flex 700 steam boiler and ancillaries. Basically, the presentation is just broken down to 4 areas. The cost report, just a quick summary of the final GPs, positives, negatives, and areas to improve or lessons learned. As we go, if you have a question about a particular point we're talking, please shoot. If you have like something you want to discuss in depth, let's leave it until the end of the presentation. Okay, so that's first thing, the cost report, which is, I guess, is the most important thing. The overall budget GP, that's including the boiler and the installation together, was 29.4. The actual GP, we only submitted an official 1 variation, which when we attended the boiler until we got the final acceptance from ESV. The actual GP without that variation is 27.82, so a drop of about 1.5%. The actual GP with the variation, 28.19. The actual GP after all the current call-outs that we've had, and the last one was on Friday, it drops down to 18.48. So it's a drop of 10%. Just a note, those figures are including the invoice, the expediter's invoice that got caught in the boiler. Remember, Kim, when we were discussing with Dara. So what is captured in the actual is the expediter invoice, which is the 14 grand. But now that cannot be removed because the job has been closed and archived, so I left the numbers as they are. But actually, they're slightly better than that. Yeah. So yeah, those are the numbers. Do you have any questions about the numbers?
Can you explain on why?
Actually, that's a good question. What I'll do is we will go straight to the detailed numbers and the breakdown of each section, and the explanation of why each section is like that. We'll go through that in the lessons learned in the presentation itself. Okay, so this is basically the breakdown of everything, which summarizes to the numbers that I just showed you. So the boiler itself, boiler plus assembly, so that is the boiler, the trims, building the panel, so the labor to build the panel, the labor to fit the trims. The budget was 116. Our cost, we spent 98,000. So basically the provision that was left to cover all those things in the boiler was really good and generous, and it's covered that.
Was the provision for labor or materials?
It didn't specify. The provision was there, uh, but yeah, as you can see, like there is hours for labor as well. So there was a provision. I can't remember the exact figure, but there were also labor hours there. So the boiler side was very generous.
I think that after this meeting, it'd be good to know how many hours we spent assembling the boiler.
I have.
For the materials.
Aaron spent exactly 55 hours building the panel, which is
that part of the assembly, is it?
part of the assembly. Yes. Roger spent about 20 hours or 24 hours.
Yeah.
20 hours.
Can
Yeah.
I have that report in detail, because my interest in a detailed report is I'll be doing the costings for all our boilers,
Yeah.
and that is our business model from here on. We'll get them there,
Mm.
and we'll build our control panels, and we'll build our trims, and we'll put them together. So I really need to understand our actual costs in
Okay.
doing that.
Yeah, what I'll do is, in that same report, I'll write down in that same column, I'll add electrical, 55 hours, mechanical,
Yeah.
X amount of hours, etc.
Because
So,
I'm trying to remember, but I have to check. I think I did specify exactly how much the material cost and the labor cost is going to be.
yeah.
Electrical, mechanical.
Yeah.
So you should be able to compare both.
Okay.
And specifically, what's included in the assembly? You just mentioned the panel, the other things. So what items are part of the assembly and
Yeah.
separate them from the installation?
Okay. Okay, that's not a problem. Moving forward, the installation part, that unfortunately took a big hit. What was budget 16K, I'm on to 17, we spent 25. And there are a lot of factors why we went over budget there. Again, we'll go into detail with that in the lessons learned. But one thing is that what was estimated was one mech and one apprentice, but the nature of the work with a flex boiler, we need two mechs on site. When I went to site a couple of times while Roger was working there, Roger was heavily busy, and the guy from Plumright was also busy doing his work as well. When Ewan and Jack go to sites, Ewan does spend some time telling, okay, do this, do that, showing him things. So we weren't going to finish on time if I sent a mech and an apprentice. So, like I said, we will go on in detail with other reasons why labor kind of.
In saying that, is that mainly because of time constraints? So if we did have enough time, that labor would be right?
Look, I think with a flex boiler, we need two guys who know what they're doing. With the HE, it's so much easier. Some of the work is already done for them, like the pump, the connecting from the pump to the boiler. So it's easy, and Jack already has done a few of them. But with a flex, not really. I'll put down the exact hours as well. I think, yeah, Roger spent 2 weeks, over 2 weeks, almost 90 hours on sites. Material did well, despite a few items that were underestimated, but other items we were able to make some savings, and we did well with the material. Engineering and PM, as expected, like the job was really time consuming. as you know, myself, site was disorganized, client was disorganized. There was a bit of disjointing between Laurent and the builder and what they're expecting. Again,
Is that job specific? Do you think in any other site?
Job specific to a large percent, yes.
Would that be enough?
No. Like that would never be enough. That's something we can discuss separately, like you mentioned about how much we put. But the answer to your question, yes, a portion of that is job specific.
Okay.
Commissioning, we almost on budget, like 2 hours over budget, so that's 112. And for, spare parts, yes. The spare parts, they were slightly under budgeted as well. We went over budget even after we went with the Kunkel safety valves. Still, the Gesser probes were slightly over budget, and the Kunkel valves were slightly also more expensive, so it added up to the numbers.
Is there a problem overpricing in smart rate?
Well, no. The prices of the parts that I purchased, I got prices, got quotations, and I purchased the cheapest thing.
Did you ask in smart rate if you were to select the safety valves and whatnot?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
This price is smart rate all that day.
Okay, so we need to do something about that. Because, all of your prices are not like an estimation, they are actual prices. For our parts, the prices are from smart rate, so I need to be aware of that.
I would
not trust smart rate unless it's something very recent, like an ATC.
And things like a Gestra probe or a safety valve, they're expensive high-ticket items. I would always get quotations for them on case-by-case basis.
Need to be a better way of doing it because I can't spend 3 days in quoting probes. When a client asks me how much a boiler costs.
Usually, whether you get quotes from locally from Global Valves or IBS, I shoot an email. They come back a day or two later with a price. Because Gestra, I know for a fact, like every couple of years, the price will go up. So
that means we can have prices in smart rate.
We can or we can?
We can at least update.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I would use reference projects. You don't have to, all the recent projects are all with Gestra inspired probes.
So okay, so that is basically the end of the project. From there on, those jobs are all the call-outs we've been doing the last 3 months. So this is all minus. This is the only variation, which is now actually a bit of a doubt. Attending the boiler. This is 5K. So this is the budget. This is total spent. So this is basically the detail. There is another separate sheet, a bit more detail of those breakdowns, and we have that as well. I'll keep it on record. So that's it for pricing.
Okay.
Any questions or comments?
There are a couple of things that I will need to work out. Example, you are telling me the things with itchy boilers are easier because stuff is already done for us. That should be part of the boiler price, not the installation. So if the pump assembly is part of the boiler price, not installation, if that was a problem, that those hours need to go under the boiler twice.
Correct. Yeah, but other things, I mean, we can discuss that. I have no problem, like the piping from the pumps to the boiler. That is included in the install, not in the assembly part.
But if you're saying Ichi is easier because it's already done, Ichi comes in, we purchase it as a package boiler, so the idea is Flex is a package boiler too. So, you know, the install should not take that part.
No, you're right. But things like, for example, mounting the safety valves. They were on site. We had to get a small scaffold. They're heavy, and Roger go up, and it was done on site. I get your point. Maybe we can modify it.
Because that's, you know, it will be slightly different from Europe because we try to get our boilers built in our workshop. So
Yeah.
that will be. But in saying that, I need to understand that because my installation cost will not be as big. Like I'll be overpricing my installation if I consider those hours because some of these hours will be spent in doing the pump set will be done here, the mounting
I can double check and make sure that all those small bits are included here.
It's kind of difficult because it was all done at once. I understand that part. But my point is, everything that's got to do with the boiler that needs to cover the exact same things like the Ichi package boiler. So all of the work that was done to make sure the boiler is a package goes to under the boiler price, not the install.
Okay. I can double check that. That's not any problem.
So do you think some of the assembly items that should be costed here actually go into here? Yeah, that's why this is.
It might, but it's not that much. Like maybe 8 hours worth of, like a day worth of work, but because there is about, like I said, 24 hours in there worth of Roger's time. Maybe another day, but definitely not more than that.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is like a package boiler between Ichi and any other, there shouldn't be that much difference in install.
This boiler is high.
Yeah.
And so it's not easy to access. The Ichi boilers are low.
Okay.
That's one thing. You're working on ladders and things like that.
Okay. But these are all things that I need to understand why I need to put more hours on one boiler and less on the other boiler. So I need to.
Access is a big one, especially like the MC when the safety guys are heavy and you can't just climb that over trying to see whether they want to show up.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the conclusion on the budget? Because if we keep the reworks apart, which was obviously not planned,
the budget.
It was
so basically,
it was okay, wasn't it?
Yeah, a drop of even without the invoice, without the variation, a drop of 1.5.
So the budget was okay.
Basically, so it's within what you're looking for.
Basically, what happened, the breakdown, which you can't see here. Oh, well, yeah, you can. It's a huge gain in the boiler, but drop in certain other areas. So that kind of evened it out.
But the boiler install as a complete thing was okay. Project management was under, which it always is. And
Yes.
So it was okay.
Commissioning was okay. Material was okay. And then, obviously, aside from all the trouble that we had the last 3 months, so
it is well budgeted, but it had like a lot of
the distribution, was kind of Okay. Going back. So positives, section B. Overall, the mechanical install is good and tidy. The plant looks good. There were a few things that were missed. like gas. There was a bit of a gas leak and things like that. But the install looks good, looks professional. So the electrical installation also looks professional. And did a really good job. Brian responded well to all such issues. Despite all the problems that we've had in the last 3 months, I don't know if you've been following Moisa, everyone kind of pitched in and responded well to all those call-outs. Eventually he gave us that second boiler and potentially more work, a service contract or something. You want to say something?
Yeah, that is good that we got more work. But to say, is he happy? He's definitely not happy with the moment. He's frustrated. He wants us to fix it and we're unable to.
He is frustrated, I agree, but I think he appreciates that we're there, we're still with them. We just didn't lift our hands and say it's your problem. So I think he appreciates that. The fourth positive, one more project in Melbourne southern suburbs. Brian has little presence there, so that is good. Negatives, I think we've already discussed. Huge loss in the project GP, mainly because of the numerous callouts.
Solely because of the callouts.
Solely because of the callouts, yeah. Project consumed a lot of company's time and resources. We'll go into that into detail and the lessons learned.
And there's still not the actual cause of all the problems. The current problem is not solved. It's not known yet.
Yeah. Yes. And by the way, if you remember, like if you think of anything else that should go in, please let me know and I'll add it. The presentation will be there always if you want to refer to it in the future. So.
I think somebody should be some conclusions written.
Okay.
You know, acknowledge that the budget was okay. Basically, the budget was okay. It was short up here hours.
Yep.
Excess and so on. Just kind of conclude on it. Just clearly.
Okay.
Well, my request on this project is, as I said, because it's the business model that we are after, I would need to understand, apart from the bare boiler, what was the electrical parts, what were the mechanical parts, were they wrong, were they listed wrong, so like the rest of the equipment, I will need to map it. And keep a map of it.
Materials with costs.
Yeah. To keep it for future reference and for future jobs.
When you say this is the business model dividing there, is it concluded that it's cheaper?
Yes.
Is that 100%?
We could not, before we've done that, we could not.